What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for Trading Psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple: education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
Hello, TP family. My name is Tennessee Shells, and welcome to the one and only Trading Psychology Masterclass right here on YouTube Live. We have got some exciting lineups coming your way today, and trust me, you don't want to miss a thing. So here's what I need you to do. I always say that you need to grab your pen and your notebook and your paper, whatever that you use to take notes with. You have to grab it right now, because we will be talking about a lot of things today, and you don't want to miss anything. You need to be taking notes so that you can always come back to it and not miss a thing. Okay, it's always good to refresh your mind. So if you haven't invited anyone to join the live, if you have not invited your fellow traders to join this masterclass right here on YouTube for free, please share the link to them and like this live session so that YouTube will also promote this live session to other people. Okay, I also need to know where everyone is tuning in from. I'm already seeing from South Sudan. Nice. Hi, welcome. Nelson, welcome to this live session. Nigeria, welcome to this live session. And who else? Where is everyone tuning in from? Nigeria again. Welcome to this. Larry from South Africa. Oh, sorry. Maverick from South Africa. And then Larry from Kenya. Kenya. Welcome, everyone. I really hope today's live session will be incredible to everyone that will tune in. Okay, so today's session we will be talking about trading psychology, edging trading, and we will continue our book summary. And we also have Kumar Sagana. That's so specific. But welcome to the live stream. Welcome, England. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. And I will see you next week.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you're seeing this. My name is Willis Soromi, and I'm happy and excited to be sharing this with you or doing this segment with you as part of the TP family, the Trading Psychology family. All right. So we're going to get straight into it. But one thing I would like to start off with here is, in fact, let me just remind every single person that this book review, we're doing it not just because we just want to have a book on segment, not simply because we just want to have something to do because we're bored, but it's very specific as to why we're doing this. And we are reading the book, The Psychology of Money. Number one, because it talks about psychology, but number two, so that I hope everybody can build some sort of discipline and some sort of, and I mentioned this last week, becoming a creature of habits. Our goals, the things that we want to do in the future, all the ambitions and the aspirations that we want to hit and achieve, which are ahead of us, we will be able to achieve those things by becoming creatures of habits, the habits that will dictate, the behaviors that would allow us to accomplish those goals. All right. So the reason why we're reading this book, because number one, it helps us with the mindset and the psychology of money, but most importantly, to understand that we need to grow. In order for us to grow, we need to do things that sometimes make us feel very, very uncomfortable. If you weren't here on the very first session where I shared my experience, I will say it again. Reading is something that was very much a struggle for me. Even till this very day. When I say this very day, I'm referring to probably just maybe in the last 2 years. Was very much a struggle for me. But I had to come to an understanding that in order for me to grow, in order for me to surpass the level that I speak, the level that I understand things, the level that I perceive things, I need to be able to tap into knowledge. Not just by hearing things and by listening. Audiobooks are great. I still do that as well, but also reading, which makes me feel uncomfortable, but I love it. All right. So we're doing this to stretch us and to grow us. Just a reminder for each and every single person tonight. All right. So the psychology of money, something that I've really grown from in the last couple of weeks myself, even just reading it and sharing the information with you. Okay. However, one of the things that I'm going to do is just take you back a few steps from where we were. We've done, I believe now, 5 chapters. Today will be the 5th chapter, in fact. So we've done the first 4 chapters in the last couple of weeks. And I'm just going to go over some of the things that we've picked up, a few light bulb moments that maybe you might have missed, and a few things to keep in mind. One of the things that I usually love to do whenever I'm trying to progress forward, I always stop, I take a moment, I take heed, and I say, Willis, what have you learned right now? What have you learned from the past couple of weeks? Is that something that's constantly running through your mind? Are you still growing because of those things that you've taken upon, that you've learned? All right. That's one of the things that I love to do. And I hope this also encourages you and helps you as well. All right. So the first chapter, which is chapter 1, the subheading was No One is Crazy. All right. To summarize, what the book is basically saying is, or what the chapter is basically saying rather, is nobody is crazy for thinking the way that they think, for having the habits and the behaviors that they have towards money. Okay. So somebody's mindset when it comes to depositing money in their brokerage account, or just the way they handle money, simply because of their community, their environment, how they've been raised up, how they've been taught to deal and handle money, it's going to be different for every single person. So our mindset, if it's in a negative place and we want to get to a positive place, understand that where we're currently at, it's okay. The difference is, it's now, what do you now do to change your mindset, to progress forward and to become better, especially when it comes to the psychology of money. Okay. And then, of course, we spoke about luck versus risk, or luck and risk. Luck and risk are like cousins. It's almost as if luck and risk, they exist together, but in parallel universes. You will have luck sometimes, you might have risk sometimes, but the most important thing is understanding the decision making. Okay, understand how, in fact, you need to understand how you make decisions and where you make those decisions. Are you making decisions in the midst of desperation, of panic? Are those decisions right decisions or wrong decisions? Is your good fortune a result of a bad decision? Right. I'll give you an example. Somebody who decides that they're going to place a trade. They place 10 lots somehow because the broker allows them to place 10 lots, and they have maybe just £1,000 account, and great, they make a lot of money from it, right? But the question is, that's a bad habit and it's a bad trait to have. Why? Because in that moment, that decision making tells you and shows you that the risk management on there was incredibly risky, and it's not something that you want to continue and replicate, because sooner enough you're going to experience that level of risk that you probably didn't want to experience, which might entail blowing your account. All right. And then thirdly, we had chapter 3, knowing when enough is enough, knowing when you are satisfied, knowing when your goal of 100K, for example, or 10K per month is going to maintain as 10K. Are you going to get to 10K and become greedy and decide, no, 10K is not enough? I saw somebody online say they made 20K. I'm going to go for 20K. Okay. Knowing when enough is enough. Okay. And then lastly, the last chapter that we summarized, which was last week, which spoke about learning the effects of compounding. Okay. Compounding, what I believe to be, is something that requires faith. In the midst of compounding, and maybe in a space of 30 days, from day 1 to day 30, you'll see the massive impact of compounding. However, people, they tend to quit after even day 21, right? They say it's already 2/3 of the time I haven't seen significant growth or results, and most people tend to quit, all right? Not knowing that sometimes in the very midst, at the death of that 30-day cycle, is where they will really reap the benefits and see the rewards of that compounding. So one of the light bulb moments for me in that chapter was the very fact that compounding definitely requires faith. It requires you to keep on doing those things that you know to do, the consistency, the habits, the reading the books, the growth, all of those elements combined, as well as many other things. Knowing that sometimes you might not necessarily see the results in 1 year, but as long as you are doing the right thing, right, with time, it will come to pass. All right. And family, I'm excited to go over the book now, chapter 5, which basically speaks about getting wealthy and staying wealthy. Now, this book, this chapter really spoke to me. Why? Because I'm in a season in my trading career whereby I've gone through that season of risk, of understanding risk. I'm not afraid to place a trade. I'm not afraid to take decisions and take opportunities for something, right? But there's also a big difference when you have the opportunity to take the risk. But now what happens when you make the money, right? You've made the money, or let's just say you have a great opportunity to preserve a large sum of capital or grow your amount to a certain figure, right? I'm always going to be talking in trading sense. So let's just say, for instance, you have the ability to now trade a $1,000 or $2,000 account, right? And now you have the ability to scale up from time to time, right? What ends up happening is sometimes we begin to say, right, great, now I can risk a lot more. Because I have a lot more, I can risk a lot more. The account will now permit me to risk a lot more, right? But there's also another thing of being able to preserve your capital, right? The most successful people, a lot of them, or should I say a small minority of them, they don't learn how to just make money quick. They also learn how to maintain, preserve their capital, and grow their money. Okay, let's just say, for instance, Warren Buffett, because this is the person that's mentioned probably almost in every chapter from chapter 1, probably until chapter 7 or chapter 10, right? If you look at and you observe his life, a lot of the wealth was compounded through time. But at the age of 50, you begin to see how it basically snowballs, and him becoming the richest person on planet Earth today, one of the richest persons on planet Earth today. Okay, but the key thing here is understanding how to stay wealthy. Okay, the two stories that are mentioned in the beginning of the chapter, it shows you how one of them was one of the biggest stock traders, I believe, in the early 1930s, between 1900 and 1930. Okay, when the stock market crashed, he was one of the people that came out as basically a billionaire. All right. However, Later on, I think decades later, he never really he had the same mindset that he had when it came to risk, when he should have maintained a preservation perspective, when he should have maintained a mindset of, let me stay wealthy. Even if my 3 billion doesn't get to 6 billion, at least I still have 3 billion. At least I've still created a margin of risk whereby I've got enough money now to risk that it does not affect my family, it does not affect my wealth, it does not affect my status, and it doesn't affect my decisions as much. Okay, that's the mindset that we should all be able to adopt, and it's certainly the mindset that's allowed me to adopt, especially in recent times after reading this particular chapter. All right, so getting wealthy and staying wealthy. Okay, I wanted to summarize this in probably, before I speak a little bit more into trading, but I wanted to summarize this in probably 3 separate points. Survival, right? Survival is very, very key. I'm going to highlight some examples only because they've mentioned it, but simply because we've all experienced it to some cost, right? Now, some people might be old enough to have experienced the crash in 2009. I was young. I had no idea. I was in school. I had no clue. The last thing that I remember, if there's anybody in the UK, the last thing I remember, there was a shop called Woolworth, and it was such a big headline in the UK that they shut down Woolworth. And that's probably the only thing that I can remember. Apart from that, I don't remember the crash, the global crisis in 2009, right? However, I'm sure everybody can attest to the fact that we've all been through the recent pandemic in the last couple of years, in the last 5 or so years, right? That was unexpected. That was something that nobody could have even planned to manage. But guess what? We all still went through it. And believe it or not, there were some people, there were investors that had money that betted on a certain price or a level to what their investments were. And it went the complete opposite way, leading many businesses to shut down, many functions to shut down, but also many opportunities to arise as well. But the key factor here is survival. Can your idea, can your business plan, can your trading plan, can it survive or stand the test of time when it comes to major events that are completely unpredictable? And I love what the author says, and I'm going to highlight this. The author says, plan on the plan that's not going according to plan. Maybe if I reword it. In other words, it's just saying, plan on the plan when the plan is not going according to plan. All right. Sorry for the plan. Too many plans. My point here is, when whatever you expected to happen 6 months from now doesn't go according to plan, do you have a backup plan? Is there a backup? Is there a way that you can restructure yourself? Do you get so demotivated and depressed, so much so that you're like, no, this is it. It didn't go according to plan, so it just didn't work. Right? Is that your mentality? Or is your mentality a person that decides, you know what, this hasn't gone according to plan. What do I need to do? Who do I need to become? What needs to change in order for the plan to go according to plan? Maybe my target was to make 500K, right? You're going to see later, we're speaking about, last week we spoke about the financial thermostat. Maybe 500K is great. It's a lot of money, but maybe our mindset and our ability to manage that level of money, we haven't arrived there yet. However, we can look and try to gain a certain amount of money, which is still a lot. Maybe you downsize it and say, okay, what are the skills that I need to learn? Who is the person that I need to become in order to get 50K, right? So plan on the plan when that plan, the original plan, is not going according to plan, okay? Have that survival instinct in mind. Have the power of humility, okay? Because the future is unpredictable. Nobody can predict what the future holds. Nobody can predict what the market is going to do tomorrow, okay? If you guys are paying attention, on Friday, there was a massive crash on the stock market, which led most, I trade indices, by the way, so most of the markets just crashed. They solid just went down. So whoever was selling that day probably made a lot of money. But for most people who are anticipating big things for stocks, the prices were not going up. The whole market basically crashed. I think about 1 trillion, nearly up to $1 trillion as a crash on Friday. Okay. But my point is, Okay, nobody can predict the future. Stay humble, stay prepared at all times. Okay, sometimes your preparation might mean on certain days like this, when you even begin to see the market going down and it's hit your stop loss, normal trades, just stay out of it. Just say, you know what, today is not a day for me to go back into the market. Okay, humble yourself to know that it's okay to stop sometimes, right? That's also a part of the plan. And the last thing I also want to say is have a margin, have a margin for error. Okay, have a margin for safety. Okay, if I have £1,000 account or $1,000 account and I lose $300 of that account, now for you, you might be saying, yeah, I still got 700 to risk or 700 to trade with. Great. But guess what? Maybe that might be the moment you need to switch your mindset and say, look, I've actually lost more than 30%. I'm not sure about the percentages, but let's just say I've lost 30%. That's a lot of my account. Let me actually calm down a little bit and figure out what I'm going to do to fix this. Okay. Hope everybody is following me so far. But my point is, have a plan when that plan is not going according to plan, but also have a margin for error. Once you hit that error, what needs to change? What are the behaviors I need to do? Do I need to risk a lot less? Do I need to minimize my risk, that even if I lose 10 times, I'm still able to regain a profit if a great opportunity comes along? Okay. And so those are probably the things I'm going to leave you with, but I'll definitely say this: the light bulb moment here is plan on that plan when it doesn't actually go according to plan. Okay. And I'm going to add one more thing on top of that. Does everybody here have a trading plan? I also understand that some people here are probably brand new to the world of investing, of Forex, of trading, stocks, options, you name it. Okay. But how many people on the chat, you can just put it in the chat really quickly, say, I have a plan, I don't have a plan, or I need a trading plan. Okay. You can just drop it in the chat. You can even just say yes, say no. Just let me see in the comments really quickly before I move on. But it's just to basically have an idea and see if any of you actually have a plan. Okay, in the first place. The first step to have a recovery plan is actually have a normal plan in the first place. And if you don't have a plan, then it's going to be a huge problem, because most people will just simply be gambling, and trading just becomes, I hate to say it, but trading becomes like a lottery ticket. Okay, it just becomes a lottery at the end of the day. All right. So I can see a lot of people are saying yes. It's a big yes from Virtuso. I have a plan. Yes, I need a plan. That's what I love to see. It's very good to actually openly admit if you don't have a plan and you need a plan. This is the reason why we are doing this TP Masterclass. All right. So yes, I have a plan. I need a plan. And this is great. Another person says, I need a plan. But we do have a lot of people, the majority of people that said that, yes, they have a plan. And that's probably an interesting topic. I hope that one day we can share how to actually create a plan or a trading plan. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point during TP Masterclass. However, what I simply want to say is this before I wrap up is, if there's anything that I will leave you with, make sure you have a trading plan. Number one, have a survival instinct. Tomorrow is not promised. When it comes to trading, nothing is guaranteed. Your edge might be 100% win rate, which doesn't really exist, but let's just say it's a 99% win rate. There's always still that 1% of error where you can lose your entire account. Always have that mindset, and then prepare your mind in order for that to in order for you to structure your account. Okay, have the power of humility. Be humble. Nobody is the GOAT in trading. I believe you me, at some point I thought I was the GOAT. I thought I had the best strategy. Okay, nobody is the GOAT. So stay humble. Stay humble. All right. And then lastly, have that margin of safety. Do you have the plan? Do you have the backup ready? Just in case I was meant to make 10K at the end of the month, but I finished on 3K. That's okay. You still made profit. I finished on break even. Guess what? At least you didn't make a minus on the account. At least you preserved your capital, you maintained, and you've still got the next month to rectify it. Okay. So on that note, once again, I'm happy to share with you my personal experience and my review when it comes to the psychology of money, especially with chapter 5. We'll be going over chapter 6 again. I hope every single person is reading the book. The least you can do is pay attention and listen to the book via audio, but we simply want everybody to read and follow this each and every single week. All right. So on that note, TP family, I hope to see you next week. And I will now hand over to the next session where we'll be having a deep dive into the edge and the risk management. So over to you, Mr. Kema.
Hello guys, can you hear me? If you can hear me now, just give me one. If you can hear me now, just give me one. Awesome. Thank you so much. So basically, I was saying thank you so much to Willis. Thank you so much. We really appreciate for that. And I also saying that it is good to have gone through the book on my own, read the book from like page to page, cover to cover, but it is a different experience listening to you break it down along with you. It's a whole experience, and that's what TP family is here to do. We are here to give you guys an experience, and it's wonderful to have you all here. First of all, I just want to thank the Almighty Lord God for giving us life, right? If we have life, at least we can do something, right? All right. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and then we would be able to go through what exactly I'm bringing to you guys today. I always have something up my sleeve. Basically, it's how I approach the market. And then whenever I teach, Clifford will say it's a light bulb moment, right? And last 2 weeks, I remember sharing something on demand and supply analysis. Great. So those who are on the session last 2 weeks, you remember how we did a demand and supply analysis. If you're on the session right now and then you did not watch the past, like a session that we had 2 weeks ago, go visit that video and then take a look at how I drew that demand and supply analysis, and then how I showed carefully market reaction points, how market has been reacting of these zones beautifully, right? And then you can just see how it is, right? Market reacting of these zones, and every one of these zones that market keeps on reacting on, you realize that between those two extremes is 500 pip movement, 750 pip movement, and it goes on and on like that, right? But today I have something up my sleeve again. I'm going to be teaching on top-down analysis. So you remember I told you top-down analysis is entirely different from demand and supply analysis in my books. Demand and supply analysis is basically talking about looking out for psychological price points that markets may react on different pairs, along the way. I used gold as an example last 2 weeks, but then again, I told you that it works on all pairs, right? But when you take a look at the right side of my screen or the right side of my chart, you would relatively see some lines that are drawn around this area, which are purple in color, right? And those are what actually represent my top-down analysis. So I'm just gonna, give you another light bulb moment. How exactly can you do an analysis within 10 minutes, right? The idea of this is for you to be able to do an analysis within 10 minutes for the entire week. You are done, and then you can relatively be just watching the market move up and down. Sometimes that analysis that you do can even take you 2 weeks or even 3 weeks or even a month. I'll be understand. So let's delve in there and then let's take a look at that. Now, For the purpose of this, I'm going to clear my chart with the lines, and then later on, I'm going to bring them back, right? So now let's get in there. Now, once an individual comes into the market to do a top-down analysis, what you are basically looking out for is market is pushing towards a particular direction, and you want to be well abreast of areas that are possible rejection points. Market may come into these areas, reject off those areas, and move along the way. So it is these areas that you, as a trader, is going to lay ambush, or probably what we call points of interest. And when market comes into those regions, now you look out for what we call confirmations in order to take the trades, right? So whatever strategy that you have, whatever strategy you are using, this is an idea that is coming in to better your trading, Let's get in there. When I come onto the market, first of all, I want to see the direction of the market, which is very important. Where is the market going towards? And then you can see that with this, we are having a strong push towards the upside, right? Now, that being said, if market is going towards the upside, we want to go to the highest time frame and then do our top-down analysis from there, right? Basically, that's the idea. Top-down analysis, going all the way towards the higher time frame, looking at how market is traveling, cut for yourself a price point, or a price range, and then come all the way down to the lower time frame to trade along the way like that. So all you are doing is marking out high points and significant low points. Listen to me carefully. All you are doing is marking out significant high points and significant low points. Basically, that is it. Now let's get in there. If I come on a go chart on Monday mornings or probably Sunday evenings, what I do is I go to the monthly time frame, and then I'm looking at the monthly time frame, what exactly is happening. I can see price in a perpetual motion towards the upside, right? Which is my first cue. It means that gold is what? Very, very bullish. Now, the next thing that I'm looking at is how are the candles traveling towards the upside? And you can see that it's giving off that bullish, momentum over and over. But one of the things that a lot of people are not able to see, or one of the directives that your mind might not necessarily go onto once you are watching the chart this way, unless, of course, you have stayed on the chart for a very long time like I have done, right? You realize that as price is in that perpetual motion towards the upside, there is never a moment where price has closed beneath any of the candles. Let me show you something. If you go into this area, you look at this low point, right? It's an initial low point. Market never closed beneath that region. You look at this low point. Market never closed beneath that region, right? You look at this low. It continues like that. Every single low point is not closed beneath. We are just having that perpetual motion towards the upside. And even at the point where we have bearish candles being printed on the market, you'd realize that it simply comes to trade beneath those low regions and then goes above to close above that region, which signifies that price is not ready to move towards the downside just yet. The candles are the language of the market. Therefore, if they are printing out in a certain way, they are trying to communicate to you what market is doing in a particular moment. That means that you as a trader needs to study the language of the market so that you can understand what exactly is being communicated to you. So if that is the case, it means whenever market is breaking this region, right, and trading beneath that area and market has not closed yet, it means that there is no affirmative that market is going to go towards the downside. I hope you are taking notes, right? If market breaks beneath that region, listen carefully, trades beneath that region and does not close beneath that region just yet, it simply means that market is not ready to push towards the downside. But if there is a break and closure, market is simply pointing out that we have some sort of what? Bearish pressure in this bullish momentum that we're having. We have some sort of bearish, pressure coming in. And that is strong enough to start causing a pullback, a retracement, or possibly a total reversal on the market, right? So if I view the market in that way, then I am looking out for what is happening in the interim, not what has happened all the way from, like the lows. What is going to happen now? What has transpired within the past week? What is transpiring in this particular week? And how will I be able to view for trades that would potentially come up in the next week, right? So all I do is I am focusing on the candle that closed the previous month, right? Since I'm on the monthly time frame. And I'm going to mark those regions, the highest point of that candle here, and the lowest point of that candle. Now, mind you, that candle should have been the current bullish candle that has created a high, and not just a high, but has closed above the previous what monthly candle. So that being said, it means that there was a previous monthly candle here, and this candle should be an important one for me because it has actually broken above that area and not just traded above the region, but actually closed above the region. Right? Then I'll shift focus to this. So in my trading circle or in my mentorship, we call it a candle of focus. All right. We call it COF, or a candle of focus. So that is the candle that we are focusing for the interim for our analysis, so that we will be able to view the market. And that being said, it means that currently this is the high point that I'm looking at, and this is the low point that I'm looking at. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just basically going to tag that, so that I will be able to have that in mind. So monthly high points, and then I'm just going to come here and then do this as monthly low point, right? All right, so I have monthly high and then I have monthly low. Guess what? It means I'm done for the monthly time frame, right? And I'm going down to a lower time frame. So I'm going to replicate this same thing all the way until I get to the daily time frame. And then now I'll just move to the 4-hour time frame and monitor how price is moving, so that I'll be able to get my major swings on the market. If you want to be able to catch day trades on the market, you could also replicate that on a 4-hour time frame and then follow through on a lower time frame, like 45 minutes. That is how I get my day trades on the market, aside or backing it up with my own strategy for confirmations for entries on the market. It's as simple as that. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go to the weekly time frame right after the monthly. And then I'm going to take a look at the past week, right? The past week. So the past week is this one. Can you see that? That is this one. Now, before that particular week, that is yesterday, before yesterday's closure, we had this week. Now, is this week going to be a significant week? No. Why? Because we had the low from this particular week, which is the first week in February, right? We had price push all the way towards the upside, breaking this particular area, closing above the region. This is the low point that was left of that particular candle, and this is the high point that was left of that particular candle. So I'm tagging those two areas. Now, the interesting thing is the next week, which is just the past week, which is the second week, right, of February, which is just this one, right? We had price trade above the region, but did not close above the region, came right back down and closed beneath the region. It means that still, if I'm talking about significance, I'm still going to leave my high point around this area and still going to leave my low point around this area. In the current time, we have this past week closed above the area, which means that now I am having a new bullish perspective for the current weekly time frame. And so I'm looking at this area, which is the high point, and then this area, which is the new low point on the market. I hope you're following. So I'm going to tag this as my new significant weekly high point. And then I'm going to tag the next one as my new significant weekly low point, right? Trust me, guys, this is the easiest way to do your analysis and then watch as price keeps on pushing up and down, whatever pair that you are looking at, right? So now this being the weekly high, it is as a result of the fact that this is the candle that actually broke this and not just traded above the region, but has actually closed above the region. Now, I hope you understand. So coming into a new week, what we are saying is we are anticipating that whatever is going to happen is going to be between this weekly candle. And I'm going to give you, like some final tidbits before, so that you can be able to use that as your final area to, make your entries on the market, right? So now I have found my weekly time frame, right? Weekly high, weekly low. Now let's go to daily time frame. So as the days go by, the next thing that you are going to be seeing is, okay, we had a strong daily closure around this region. The next candle that closed above that region was this area, closed neatly above that region. The next candle that closed above that region was this particular daily, right? But it did not push above that area to close above the region. It rather broke the low of this daily significant candle and then close beneath that region. What do you think my candle of focus will be now? It will now shift from this area and come down into this region So daily low region was sitting here, right? And then high, daily high was now sitting here. Was now sitting here. So I have daily high, and then I had daily what? Low. And you always see this on my chart. Always. So I had daily high, and then I had what? Daily low. Great. So now I have monthly high point, monthly low point, weekly high point, weekly low point, daily high point, and daily low point. Now, the idea is this. If you take a look at the daily high, you realize that price has come all the way back into the highs of this area. Has it closed above that region? No, not yet. It means that currently, whatever weakness that we saw when price actually dropped down into this region on the 14th of February, we have now had a significant push all the way back into the highs on the daily perspective. And there is a high tendency that price may reject off this area and start moving back towards the downside again. So the only thing that is going to make me take my mind off the sells that are coming in on gold or that I'm seeing on gold currently is when price breaks above this particular strong momentum candle towards the downside and closes above that region. Then I'm going to move and say, okay, so price has now resumed that particular bullish perspective that we were seeing. But until then, I still have in mind that there's a high possibility of a pullback, a retracement, or even a build-up for a total reversal on the market. I'll be getting. So that is how simple it is to do a top-down analysis on any pair at all. And from here, if you are looking forward to trade and then catch some day trades on the market, you can even bring it out or break it down to the 4-hour perspective and then take a look at it from that particular area. So on the 4-hour perspective, it means that we have usually this what I use to represent my 4-hour areas. So I go like that and then I just mark it like that. So it means that every low of that area, every high of that area is significant. That way, it cuts away all the other highs and lows in the market that may not necessarily be significant, so that like as traders, constantly we want to be placing trades on the market. But if you have something like this, it causes you to streamline your entry points into a certain area. I hope you understand. A certain area. So you are only looking forward to these areas, market coming into these regions. And once market comes into those regions, then we are anticipating that price will go towards wherever direction that it is going towards, right? Which is in the current stage, it was in a bullish momentum. And now we have seen this strong movement towards the downside. We have seen this push towards the upside. On the 4-hour time frame, it shows clearly a break above that region. But on the daily time frame, it shows clearly that all these areas are just wicks. All these areas are just wicks. And therefore, on the daily perspective, market is still showing clear signs of a possibility for markets to come towards the downside like that. And it wouldn't be surprising if we have market coming towards the downside. And usually, if I see market, rallying towards the downside like this and probably breaking the 4-hour time frame candle that we have here, strong, like bearish engulfing that we have around this area, right? Then I'm anticipating that probably we may be coming into the lows of this particular weekly perspective. You can see that we have weekly low around this area, weekly high around this area. We have broken this particular region around this particular area. There's a high tendency of price coming all the way down into this region, probably into this area to reject off first hand, or even the high tendency of price coming all the way back down into the lows of that particular weekly time frame and then continuing towards the upside. That being said, what it will mean is if you are looking at the weekly time frame, this is something that you'll be seeing. You will be seeing that we have had a strong weekly closure towards the upside. And just as price has been perpetually moving towards the upside like this, weekly candle up, then we have a pullback towards the downside. And before the week closes, it goes all the way to close above. We have price pullback on the next one. Before it closes, it goes all the way to close above. And there are times when market will not come down at all. It will just be a continuation move towards the upside, right? And then this continuation move towards the upside. But clearly, there are times when market will give you these entry points. And if you take a look at the candles from this area, you realize that here, market gave what? That entry from the weekly perspective. Market gave that entry by pulling back into the lows on the weekly perspective. And it what? It basically gives off that. But there are times when weekly perspective is just going to open and then start moving towards the upside, which are what? Which basically means that they are continuation movements. So there are times when there are entry movements. Market will come down into what? An area of interest, give you those entries for you to be able to enter and then push towards the direction in which it's already going in. And there are times when as soon as market goes, opens, it will just start rallying towards the upside. It means that these are continuation movements. How we get it? Basically, I'm sure that even though this has not been into detail because there's more to this whole, top-down analysis, but this is an easy way that will spell it out to you. So let me just give you examples by going through, some of the pairs that I have this on, and then you'll be able to see what exactly will happen. So on the weekly perspective, what exactly I want you to look out for is this. In the current week, I want you to look out for something like this. A new candle is going to open here. Now that candle may start just pushing towards the upside because market is relatively bullish. But also there's a high tendency that per the kind of candlestick formations or per the kind of candle focus formations that we are seeing on the daily time frame, market may want to come down first before coming down to pick liquidity and then push towards the upside. That way, the first week's movement is going to give you a long wick coming towards the downside, giving you an opportunity of an entry. So personally, as a swing trader, I can actually be looking out for that entry, just take that trade and allow market to just, for the rest of the week, take me or continue to push wherever it is going to go to. And if that candle comes to turn into a bullish, perspective or a bullish candlestick altogether, it would mean that it will look something of the sort like this. After the week has ended, it will look something of the sort like this, whereby we will have that weekly opening like this, price coming all the way towards the downside, not closing around this area, but it has visited that area. So it's going to leave a wick from this area like that, signifying that we have been here, but we did not close there. The market is going to go all the way towards the upside like that. And then now what? If that coming week has, or we see some good momentum in the week, then we are probably going to be seeing that what push towards the upside to close above it, and it would be following the pattern that it has already been doing over and over. How we get it? Other than that, we could have market spend maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks within this up area and then down area, just printing out, a new weekly candle like this, next printing out another weekly candle like this, right? And then next printing out another one like that. And then this is the one that is probably going to do this. And then what? When it is ready, just going to shoot all the way up and then come and close above that area. Basically, it is the same thing that market keeps on doing over and over. This is the light bulb moment for somebody. And I believe that it is going to change your trading for the better. Whenever I give an insight on the market to anybody, it comes to add on to whatever strategy that you are using and then build upon that strategy for you yourself. I teach this over and over for my individuals, and then it has worked like magic for all of them. Now let's go to a few pairs, as I was saying, and let's take a look at this. You would realize that when we had this 4-hour closure all the way towards the downside, we had price come all the way back into the high of that area, reject off that area, and then started dropping back towards the downside, right? So these high and low ranges are very, very significant, and they should be taking notice of. Let me go to GBP USD. On GBP USD, you can see clearly that I've done my demand and supply, my top-down analysis. But I've also done my demand and supply analysis anyway on here. See how beautifully market rejected off 1.2800, dropped towards the downside. And it is just, moving towards the downside, coming up 1.2550. But also top-down analysis, what makes me, look out for each week and what exactly is going to happen. You can see I have my monthly low perspective on here, which means that previous months, the significant low, previous month significant high, and then now we are trading towards the upside, right? Now let us take a look at that monthly perspective and let's see what exactly is happening. Great. So it means that we have had what? Subsequent movement towards the downside, all bearish, bearish, bearish like that. This is the final bearish candle that came in the previous month, which is what? January 2025. And February 2025, market started pushing all the way towards the upside. Currently trading above that region. We are watching. It's left with 6 days more. If this closes strongly above that region, it's sending out a signal. That particular push that we have here may be the beginning of a major pullback or a major continuation. And if you take a look at this carefully, you realize that market was moving towards the upside, created a high, created a low, market pushed towards the upside, came all the way back to retest this particular low that we have here, and market is trying to create this. So if market creates this and closes strongly above that area, what is it communicating to you as a trader? We might just have market pull back and then continue towards the upside. But never trust a candle that has not closed yet. And so until that candle has closed and clearly shown that we are closing above the region, there is nothing that will make me believe that this candle is going to close above the region. Currently, it is trading above the region, but has not closed above the region. So you can see monthly high is stated here. Currently, price is trading above the region. It makes me know that, okay, the previous monthly high was here. Currently, we are trading a few pips above the previous monthly high. It gives me that perspective. I know what exactly market is doing at every point in time on every single pair because of this simple approach on the market. If this is a light bulb movement for you, kindly, comment in there. Let me see your comments come in. Let me see your comments come in. If this is a light bulb movement for you, if it's going to change your trading journey, let me see your comments come in. Top-down analysis made simple for you. Anybody can do it. I spent years on the market in order to develop this, and it has been a part of my trading strategy, and it has helped me a lot of the time, right? Now, let me just give you one more example, and I'm out of here. It will be 7, and I'll hand over to the next individual coming in to give you a great gem on the market, right? Great. So now if you take a look at this, you realize that monthly high, monthly low, when market came all the way and reached that high point, what did it do first? It rejected off that area first, came back at least 50% into the region before it continued and came to break that region. These highs and lows on the market are the significant points. It will help you not just pick any high point in the market or any resistant area in the market as an important region, except for the ones that are actually important. If you take a look at Euro USD, I have the same thing happening on here. GBP JPY, simple, easy. Take a look at this. We have monthly high, monthly low. When market came all the way back up into that monthly high, what happened? We had rejections around that area, came all the way towards the downside. Now let me show you. When we had weekly high, weekly low perspective over here. You can see weekly high, weekly low. When market created this weekly low point, it pulled back all the way into the highs of that area. Guess what happened? A rejection from that area and started dropping towards the downside excessively. Take a look at that. Excessively. So imagine if you were laying ambush and waiting for price just around this area and market got there and you entered that particular trade. Trust me, for the next 4 or 5 days, you could be enjoying market movement just towards the downside. And you are looking at market just bringing you all the way towards the downside like that. This is one of my ways that I trade the market with. And guys, for the past 3.5 years, trust me, it has been easy for me. I just take it easy, right? Thank you so much for joining this. I really appreciate you all whenever you come along the way. If I've impacted you in any way, or form, let me see you comment some fire in there. All right, over to you, Clifford Cheqona.
My losses are lessons that make me a better trader. I arise after every setback, stronger and wiser. I do not fear failure because I am built to succeed. I learn, I adapt, and I grow every single day. I am resilient. Nothing can break my focus. I trade with patience. I know the best opportunities will come. I am steady, consistent, and emotionally strong. Now, before we go on, I want you to keep this in mind, that though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. Now, I want you to keep on repeating this after me. I trust God's plan for my life and my trading journey. I am blessed and favored. My trading is a tool to create blessings for my family, and generations to come. God has equipped me with wisdom, strength, and favor. My losses are lessons that make me a better trader.
You know exactly what to do in trading, but why don't you do it? It's not about knowledge. It's about how your brain is wired. Your brain is built for survival, not success. Fear makes you exit too soon. Greed makes you overtrade. Impulsiveness makes you break your own rules. This is why accountability changes everything. With the right system, you rewire your habits, stay disciplined, and finally trade with consistency. If you've struggled to stay disciplined, this challenge was made for you. The brain needs structure, and that's exactly what we give you. Click below to get started. What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry. If you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for Trading Psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple: education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
All right. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just let me know. Just drop some number ones in the chat, and then we'll take it out from there. Okay, you guys can hear me, right? Is the microphone good? Okay. I mean, as usual, this is a house of honor as well. We just want to say thank you to each and every single person that has brought enough light into our mindset this evening. And I just want to know where everybody is tuning in from. Can I talk to the TP family for a second? Can I know where you're tuning in from? Let me just know. Let me just say hi to you. I think last week we had a couple of few different locations that was interesting. And I just want to make sure today to what we have here before we go into today's lesson. Okay, what is okay, so SSD, is that Sudan? So that is SSD South Sudan, yeah? Then we have Belgium, we have Denmark, we have South Africa, Nigeria, we have Haiti. Nice to meet you, Jeffrey. We have Kenya in the house. We have Germany as well. Amazing, Michael, nice to meet you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TP Masterclass. As usual, if this is your first time that you are tuning in, I just want you to understand that every single thing that you are learning here, it comes with a body of a structure of knowledge that helps you to basically grow as a trader. Now, sometimes when you are coming across this information for the first time, it will sound very weird, very, do I need to do all these things you guys are saying, blah, blah, blah. But then just pay attention, just listen, and you will get to understand what psychology really means. And you will get to know that every single thing everyone teaches on this masterclass segment brings light bulb moments. And as usual, Kema, thank you so much. God bless you, my brother. Willis, thank you so much. God bless you always as helping us with a book summary. And I think that you guys can agree more that you are learning something. Quick one before we go into today's masterclass. For my part, the first thing I want you guys to understand is that number one, the accountability program is live. The link is live. Shows if you are at the backstage, the media, if they can bring the community tab. In fact, bring the website in total on the screen so that we take it out from there. So far the accountability program sign up is up. Now the accountability program is really not about you coming in there to learn how to trade. That is the truth. Is for two categories of people. But at the end of the day, I will not go into much in depth about it because, not every single person, unfortunately, will be able to qualify for the accountability program. But do your best to submit your form. And when I go through the forms and if I screen it and I think you are best fit, then we will select you. We are only going with 100 people for this season. Unfortunately, and I will tell you why. It's because the systems and the structures that we have right now, it wouldn't permit us to be able to basically go with more than 100 people, unfortunately. So do understand, if you are not selected, it doesn't mean anything. When we open it up to more people again, we can give it to you. Now, that is one of the announcement. Number two is that a lot of people are mostly asking me, Cliff, how do we get a journal? How many of you guys have been asking this question in your heart as well, that how do I journal and how do I even get a journal and so on and so forth? If you have asked that question before, just also drop some number ones in the chat. Let me know that this has been a question on your heart. You have heard about journal. So you are basically asking, Cliff, how do I journal? And so at the end of the day, you have nothing to worry about. I'm going to share an amazing news for you guys this right now. But give me a second. So you will just go to this place. All right. I'm calling it this place because it's weird. But yeah, you will go to this place. It's called cliffcheqona.com, by the way. So this is where you will go when you go to the website. When you go to this website, basically you will be able to sort of join the accountability program. This accountability program obviously is free. It's free. It's, as I said, it's no mentorship. It's none of that. And besides, every single person on this masterclass and every single person, we've discussed this, and it's going to be an interesting time of collaboration as well. And you guys are going to understand what this will do for you. So go to this website, cliffcheqona.com, and then you can basically be able to sign up for this accountability challenge. And as I said, you may not be able to be selected, but that is fine. If you are selected, and I wish you all the best for you to be able to join this program. All right. So the second thing I want to talk about is that all those asking me, Cliff, how do I, if you have a problem submitting, the issue is not really about, it's either not you. I think we spoke to the technical team about that, and we'll get back to you guys. Second thing is that those who are asking me, Cliff, we want a journal, every single individual that is going to be selected for this accountability program, you are going to get the chance to be able to get a digital journal for 90 days and use it. And I'm going to talk more about that journal later down the line. A digital journal, an amazing digital journal that records your trade for you to show you what you're doing, every single thing. You guys will see it. These are a couple of few announcements that is in TP family right now. And I hope that you are excited about this. If you're excited about these two important news, just drop some ones in the chat. Let's take it out from there. All right. If you have any questions, just remember that, we will be able to get back to you guys on that. But at the end of the day, I think that the media has posted a link in the comment section. So yeah, basically you can go. It's in the comment section. Go into the comment section. You will say, all right, guys, if you are ready for us to basically take this enough to the next level, we're gonna take it out from here. Number one is that at the end of the day, I do understand, as I was saying, that a lot of people sometimes find it very, very, very difficult to be able to understand what trading psychology really is. And that is why we did this. If this is your first time that you are joining this masterclass, I just want you to know that this masterclass is really designed to be able to help you to become a transformed trader. And sometimes, I always say this in majority of the information when I'm talking about this, and I say, every single thing in this world that functions well and functions consistently has to work with a system. Let's take the human body for an example. In the human body, we have different systems working together to make your whole entire body have a definition called health, good health. So in order for us to basically say that you have a good health, your whole entire body, all of it, the systems has to work together. So we have the skeletal system, we have the digestive system, we have the what do you call it again? We have the neural system. That is where the neuroscience conversation comes in. Does that make sense? We have all the systems in your body. Now, reproductive system, all the systems. Now, anyways, so sometimes back in the days before, I was placed in a medical school. Yes, I was placed in medical school. It wasn't my choice. I'm kidding. But anyways, so before I started learning about medicine and trying to understand the anatomical system of a human being, one of the things that I realized was that back then we used to say things like, oh my God, my stomach is paining me. My stomach is aching. Until I realized that, how did you know it's your stomach? Because the stomach is a part of the digestive system. And remember, it is not the only part of the digestive system that makes your part of your digestive system ache you. But every single time somebody have any type of ache around the digestive system, we go like, my stomach is paining you. How did you know? So when you go to the hospital, the doctor will tell you things like, so when you go, you'll be like, the doctor will be like, what is wrong with you? You go like, my stomach is paining me. He doesn't just go like, okay, go take, medicine for the stomach. He goes, okay, lie down, pain here, pain there. He keeps on touching you, right? Doctor will touch you, your left, your right, spunk a little bit on your belly to understand where the pain is coming from. It may be coming from your pancreas. It may be coming, somewhere connected around maybe your kidneys. It may be your actual stomach. All right. It may be anything that is causing your digestive system area to pain you. Now, you see, if your knowledge is limited, you will connect the problem to one single reason. I'm saying this to say that in this life, nothing becomes on point without a system and the structures. But so let's say, for example, if your head is aching you, all right, you don't just go and tell your body, hey, body, or you don't just tell your head, you don't remove your head from your body, and you don't give it to Glovo or Bolt or Uber to take it to the hospital for you. Your whole body follows your head. What am I trying to say? That if one part of the body system is in trouble, it affects your whole body. To the point, I'll never forget, one of the most painful thing in this world, all right, one of the most painful thing in this world is when you are having your favorite meal and you cannot be patient to eat the meal and you bite your tongue. In that moment, it is one of the most painful thing ever in life. Because remember, especially if you're an African, your food is spicy or is pepperish. Now you bit your tongue. Now at the end of the day, you can't stop eating because you're hungry. But as simple as the tongue is, it affects your whole body, your whole overall well-being. You are no more happy because you just bit your tongue. If your toenail is paining you and it is becoming bad, you will take your whole body to the hospital because your toenail is paining you. Are you with me? Sometimes this is what people don't understand, that a structured body of knowledge in trading simply means it is not a buffet of knowledge. You can't pick what you want. It's a holistic structure of a body of knowledge that makes you become a trader. And so the vision and every single thing we are building here is we will not take some of the things out. You will have everything. That is why we have, we have risk, we have this, we have edge, we have markup overview, we have book reading segment, everything, so that you can become the trader you want to become. We started our session last week and we were talking about financial thermostat. How many of you guys, if you were blessed by that message last week, the part 1, put it in the chat box that I was blessed. I was blessed. I was blessed. I was blessed. Today we'll be looking at the financial thermostat part 2. But before we do that, I just want us to see what we learned last week. In fact, let me ask you guys instead. What was the one thing, if you say that the financial thermostat part 1 blessed you, what was the number one thing that you learned that helped you? I'm going to take time for us to use the testimonies and every single thing that came from those lessons. I want to hear it in the comment section before we go on to part 2 today. All right, I'm going to take time, 60 seconds. 60 seconds, let's go. All right, what did you learn? What did you learn from the financial thermostat? What did you learn from the financial thermostat? Part 1, what did you learn? What did you learn from the financial thermostat? Did you learn anything? Please let me know. Just take your time and type. Don't worry. You don't need to rush. I just need to know you learned something. Money management. We spoke about that. Yes. Not from that side entirely, but I understand what you are saying. But what did you learn from the whole entire? I think that was from Ivan's segment. I'm talking about just the financial thermostat part. Okay, saving. Okay, so number 1, money management. Number 2, saving. Okay, what else? Knowing how much money you are comfortable with. Correct. This is specifically from the masterclass in that segment. I learned that life is spiritual because that is the only thing that makes sense. And that is the only thing that makes sense. That is the only thing that makes sense. True. I learned to know when enough is enough. Very good. Okay, that was from the book segment. I'm glad you learned something. How to be subconsciously aware of how I spend my money. Very true. Very true. Money you can mentally hold before you help someone. Okay, very true. I like that, Michael. And I see it in my mind before it happens. Yes, I don't have huge account, but the way I trade, I am a millionaire trader. Good. I was blessed. Okay. I learned why I kept wasting my money and not using good when I have more money. Okay. Today we're talking about what I am missing. I joined late. What did I miss? Oh, you didn't miss much. You guys should just grab your pen and your book. If your pen and your book is ready, drop some number 1 in the chat. Let's go. I want to make sure you guys are really highly engaged. So drop some number 1s in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you're ready, right now we're about to start a lesson. I'm about to teach now. Before I teach you guys, listen, there is something that has been dropping in my mind a little bit more. I want to talk about something. And this thing has been on my heart a lot. And I want you guys to listen to this. This is big now. Okay. There's a lot of things that I want to say right now. Listen, I want you guys to eliminate all media. Thank you. It's okay. No need to bring any comments on the session now. I want you guys to listen to this carefully now. When you come on this masterclass and you are learning here, I want you to understand that every single information that you are getting from us, whether from Kama, whether from Willis, whether from Albert, or even the opening segment, everybody is speaking from the bottom of their heart so that you can be able to become a person that you need to be. Now, I want you to listen to this carefully now, please, guys. I want to talk about something before we go into today's segment. This is really something I want you to really listen very carefully. There is something in trading called probabilities. And I want you to get the conviction about probabilities. You see, a lot of times, a lot of people keep on chasing different strategies and different things because they don't want to accept the fact that in trading, you win some and you lose some. That is just a reality. And I understand it's very hard to grasp that idea and let it sink in. I don't know. This I've been meditating on this a lot because I was having a conversation with an amazing individual, and I was telling her about this. And I said that accepting that trading is a game of probabilities is everything. Number one, if you flip a coin twice, you can get ahead, and the second one can be ahead. The third one can also be ahead, regardless whether you like it or not. And the fourth one can still be ahead. But this is the reality here. There is no way if you flip a coin 100 times, even if you get head 4 times, there is no way there won't be a tail in there. It's called the 50-50 chance game. So that means if you ask me, Cliff, I saw a head and I saw another head, what do you think the third one will be? If I answer that question and say tails, immediately you need to diagnose that mindset and call that a gambler's fallacy mindset. If that is your mindset, what that simply means is you will think because gold sold last week and gold is selling this week, then chances are excellent that gold could buy next week. No, gold could keep on selling until it is done selling. Are you with me? Number one. Number two, it also means you can take your first trade and second trade and 2 of them will be losses in a row, and it is okay. Is it a possibility you can have another third loss in a row? Yes. Based on what? Many factors. Your strategy, that you missed something, cognitive biases, entering too early, entering too late, whatever the reason may be, the losses can be 3 times in a row, and it doesn't mean your strategy has stopped working. That is why you need to think in probabilities. It means that you can take 100 trades, but these 100 trades may not happen in a month. They may happen in a year. They may happen in 2 years, depending on how aggressive you are. But until you finish taking 100 trades, don't say you are not a profitable trader. What are you basing that on? On a month? On a week? In 2 months? What are you basing it on? But you see, I understand. The reason why a lot of people find it difficult to understand this concept is because you want to make money fast. What do you want to make money fast? You want to make money fast because your life depends on it. You have issues of life. You want to pay your rent. You want to buy food. You want to pay bills. So you don't have time to let all the game play out. So if 1 loss and 2 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, your brain starts to tell you maybe there might be something out there. It's not true. That's something out there that you went and chased. There is a possibility also that that day you were meeting the winning streak of that asset or that strategy. But then the 3rd, 4th week, the person may have some losses in a row. So I want you to accept this fact as a trader, that the game is a game of probabilities. And you will lose some and you will win some. So focus on the number of trades your strategy permits you to trade. And that is why it is very important to me that when you come on TP Masterclass, listen to the edge segment. Listen. Because it's trying to let you understand that when you play out the hypothesis well, eventually, if your risk and everything is correct, eventually you will be in profit. Very important that you understand this. I believe somebody needed to hear this today as a point of deliverance. If you understand what I just told you right now, drop some number ones in the chat. I am not teaching yet. I was just basically I felt like somebody needed to hear this. Okay, somebody needed to hear this. And that is why I was dropped in my spirit. And I know that somebody needed to hear this before we go into today's segment today. Okay, all right then. Let me teach. Today's masterclass title is called The Financial Thermostat Part 2. Into brackets, the Mind Portal. The Mind Portal. Financial Thermostat Part 2, the Mind Portal. Financial Thermostat Part 2, the Mind Portal. Last week, we were able to identify and define what financial thermostat is. And I gave a couple of analogies, examples, every single thing for you to be able to understand how the financial thermostat works and so on and so forth. Today, we are going to be talking about something very important, and I don't want you to miss any message in this live stream. Whether you are a trader, you are not a trader, it doesn't matter. I want you to listen to this carefully well. The Mind Portal. Please, can we bring the title on? The Mind Portal. The Portal. Financial Thermostat Part 2. The Mind Portal. The Mind Portal. I want you guys to understand something here. Listen to this. Your financial thermostat here is controlled by your subconscious mind. In other words, your subconscious programming is what forms your financial thermostat. If this is true, you remember my definition about systems and infrastructure? A system is something you can see. An infrastructure is things you can't see, but they are there. So for example, let's say you sort of enter a house. I've made this example before. Let's say you enter someone's house. The house is the structure. And if you decide that a person should give you an internet connection, the internet connection is the infrastructure. You may not see the wires all over the place or series of energy moving around, but the moment the person gives you password and the name of the Wi-Fi, it connects you automatically into another realm of the world called the digital realm, the internet realm. You are not seeing the Wi-Fi. You are not seeing none of that. But why is it that all of a sudden you are connected to the internet? The reason being is because something has happened to your phone. A programming has been attached to your phone. So something is happening. Does that make sense? And so that is what the subconscious mind is. Okay? So your financial thermostat is a byproduct of something. So imagine this. Imagine this right now. If you connect your internet to, I don't know how many of you guys live in certain areas that your internet connection, you have internet access, but your internet access does not necessarily mean you will have fast internet. Is that true? That you may have internet access. There is no problem with internet access. You have it. In fact, you have 3 of them. You have one that you use to download movies, and you have one that you use to, Google only, and probably you have one that, so you have like different types. So access to the internet does not necessarily mean performance, the same as different other internet. So what I mean by that is this, is that you can have internet access, but there may be limitations of the internet access because every single internet speed is different. So maybe if you want to download a high movie or a game or whatever, it works differently. Maybe a 10 gig size of something, it works differently. The same way if you want to Google, it will give you Google information instant. Same internet access, but different level of results. Are you guys with me? Different level of results. So the fact that you can make $1 does not necessarily mean that you are ready to make 1 million. So as a trader, one of the things people don't understand is this, is that if you don't expand your financial thermostat, the minute you try to make more money beyond your subconscious mind, life will design a series of events to take it away from you. It's a law. It's a law. And with laws and principles, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't care about your sentiments. It doesn't care about your belief system. It doesn't care about what you think or what your mom told you or your dad told you. It's not a point. If your mom told you you are the most beautiful boy or beautiful girl he has ever seen or they have ever seen, and because of that you jump from a 50th story building, you will go down with that beauty. Does that make sense? And so laws and principles do not care about sentiment. It doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about knowledge. Not just any knowledge, applied knowledge. Very important to understand this. So the subconscious mind, yes, the subconscious mind is what controls the financial thermostat. So I started the internet example for you to understand this, that your subconscious mind is the internet. The website it goes onto is the financial thermostat. So your subconscious mind as an internet can go to YouTube, it can go to Google, it can go to ChatGPT. Financial thermostat is one dimension of the platform that your subconscious mind, the internet, can operate in. And with the financial thermostat, this is how I want you guys to see it. Somebody's about to get light bulb moment right now. Listen to me right now. Your life is about to change. You will never leave this live stream the same way again. How many of you guys know that on YouTube, they have different qualities? Same YouTube, they have different qualities. So there is a part of YouTube, if you select 240p, you and I can be using different Wi-Fi and we all can stream 240p. Okay? So we are all watching the same video, same quality, we are all enjoying. But if I decide that, man, I want the 480p, I can go to 480p. In fact, you can try to go to 480p with me. No problem. Let's even all go to 720p. So now the quality is a little bit better. But I'm like, you know what? I've bought a very gigantic TV. I don't just want 720p. I don't just want 1080p. In fact, I want 4K. Now, if your internet is not good, same YouTube, you will see that your internet start lagging. Sometimes it can lag 30 seconds. Then it will now play 2 seconds. And it will lag 1 minute and play 3 seconds. But then me, if my internet is good, it will now start to stream the 4K beautifully without no lagging. Same internet, same name, called internet, but different results. Same YouTube, different quality of life. Say financial thermostat. Put financial thermostat now in the comment section. As I told you guys, your life will not remain the same again if you pay attention to this live session you're about to listen to. So we all can be traders, but don't you dare say that because we are all traders, why are we not all making $1,000? Why are we not all making $2,000? That is not how life works. That is not how life works. Are you with me? That is not how life works. Life works in an angle to the extent of your capacity. It's very important that you understand this, of your capacity. Okay. Now, if you are ready to learn, let's move on. Today's lesson is about the mind portal. The mind portal. The mind portal. Listen to this, guys. When we say life is only spiritual, I'm going to use something to explain, something profound that I heard that I believe will also change you to your life. You see, in this life that we live in, listen to this carefully now. There is a way that every single thing was created. There is a way every single thing was created. Human beings were created in a very specific way. Very specific way. We didn't just come out of nowhere. We were formed, we were designed. That is why when you study the anatomical system of a human being, everything starts to really make sense that we were designed, we were created. Now, we all believe that there is an unseen world. That is one thing, even if the person is an atheist, they all believe that there is a dimension of the world that we can't see, and there is a dimension of the world that we do see. Are you with me? So there is a dimension of the world that you see, and there is a dimension of the world that you don't see. There is a dimension of the world that you do see, and there is a dimension of the world that you don't see. Okay. Now listen to this carefully now. So when we were created, I know who created me, and I am persuaded. So when God created Cliff, God said, listen, there is something called the law of territory. Are you with me? Why did God create laws? Like, why did he create principles? He created laws and principles so that you don't say that he loves somebody than the other. That is why, whether you are a Christian or not, whether you believe in God or not, and you are a farmer, the same rain will fall on your land. Laws. Does that make sense? That is how it works. Laws. So I want you to understand this. When God created me, Clifford, he created my mortal body. so that I can live on earth. The law of territory says if you are not made from the component of that territory, okay, you don't have the liberty to live in that territory. It's a law. If you don't have the component and the right to live in that territory, you cannot live there. That is why if you have KFC uniform on, you can go to McDonald's and work. If you go to MIT, or let's say MIT wears uniform, I'm just saying, you cannot go to Harvard wearing MIT uniform. It's called a law of territory. So you have to respect that territory. So it is illegal for anyone without a mortal body to live on earth. It's illegal. If you don't have this mortal body, you can't live on earth. It's illegal. So we were created in the similitude of the earth. So the law of territory simply means that you are supposed to be made by the component of that territory. So that's why when you go to school, they put the school badge on the cloth. It represents the school. They use the school colors to make the uniform. It represents the school. So same thing on earth. Your bones is like stones. That is why your whole entire flesh can vanish and then your skeletal system is still alive. So your bones is like stones. The water component in your body is the same as the water component on earth. Your skin was made from dust. So you were formed. So the reason why you can live on earth is because you were made of the component of the earth. Now, whether you choose to believe this or not, as I said, is your sentiment, but that is why you can survive here. That is why you can breathe. That is why you can live on Mars, because you are not made of the components of Mars. Are you with me? But then, this is the issue here. After we were made to have this component of body, something was missing. What was missing was very powerful. Listen, this is what was missing. If truly you believe that you were made in the image of God, God is spirit. God is not physical body like us. So you need to function in the realm he functions as well. But so he wanted us to have, or in other words, humans needed two ways to function, both in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. So the only way that was going to be possible was for a CPU. I'm calling it a CPU because there's a computer to be made and placed within you so that you can function both in the spiritual realm and in the physical world. Are you with me? And that tool or that organ, that CPU is called the mind, your brain. So the brain is why you can be able to imagine things. Your brain is why you can sit down and be creative and say, hey, I want to create an iPhone. Your brain did that. Then you now extract that information that has not existed yet. Then you transport it into physical realities. So the brain is the mediator between the unseen world and the physical world. So the media is where it's a word that came from mediator. So a mediator, which is your brain, is the mediator between the unseen world and the physical world. So that's where we get the word media from. So that is why media is powerful, because every single thing that happens through media happens to your mediator. So whether you will believe in yourself or you will not believe in yourself, it depends on the things around you. Now we are talking specifically about the financial thermostat. Are you with me? The financial thermostat. The financial thermostat, we have already identified that it is the level of your income. That means the level of your mindset is the amount of money you could make. It is true, whether you believe it or not, it's a law. So if I give you millions of dollars today, you are not a millionaire. You just have millions. There is a difference between having millions and being a millionaire. A millionaire keep millions. A person with just millions spend millions and it finished. You can't keep. And remember, the financial thermostat is not just about making money, it's about also keeping it. Are you with me? So today's session is the financial thermostat part 2. I have here the mind portal. We are going to be writing a lot, so I want you to make sure you have a book and a pen. Make sure you have a book and a pen. Today's masterclass, we're going to be talking about 5 mind portals and how they influence your financial reality and how to reprogram your subconscious for financial success. That is my goal today for you. Number 1 is we're going to be discussing the 5 mind portals and how they influence your financial reality. With this explanation that you're hearing here today, you will not take your mind lightly anymore. You will now start respecting why you have a mind. Now, the first portal is this. Now, before we even go on, I want to ask a quick question now. Before we go on, I want to ask a quick question. When we say portal, what do you guys think portal is? When we say portal, what do you think a portal is? What do you think a portal is? When we say portal, what do you think a portal is? Let's go into the comment. Let's see. What is a portal? An opening. Okay. I want to use a word from Musa Lawan. I love that. He said a gateway. So a portal simply means it's something goes through it and something comes out of it. Does that make sense? Something goes through it and something comes out of it. Very important to understand this. So now, let's talk about this now. So the first portal I want you to write down in your mind. So that means if a portal is a gate, that means your mind is a gateway. That means things are walking into it, things are walking out of it. Are you with me now? But then there are several different portals that you need to be able to understand that is connected to your mind that forms your financial thermostat. The first one is called the gates of perception. In other words, the eyes. But I want you to write it down this way. It's called the visual portal. Please write it down. The first one is called the visual portal. The visual portal. The visual portal. The visual portal. This is the first one. All right. The first one is called the visual portal. The visual portal. The visual portal. Are you guys with me? The visual portal. Okay. What do I mean by the visual portal? Listen to this carefully now. Your eyes is a portal. Okay? Your eyes is a portal. What that simply means is that what you see programs your financial expectation. What are we studying now? We are studying financial thermostat. 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 So what you see, okay, it programs your financial expectation. I want you to write that down. What you see programs your financial expectation. Remember, what we are learning now is the ability for you to understand what is affecting your visuals, your mental portal. The first one is your eyes. So every single thing that you see, remember, Cliff, how do I, change my financial thermostat? How do I do this? We are talking about it now. So really pay attention. The first one is the eyes, your eyes. So your eyes, in your mind, you think it's just something that you see, but it's not true. because I want you to listen to this carefully now. Your actual eyesight is not your eyes. Your eyesight is your mind. Your eyeball is the only thing that you see through. So you see through your eyeballs, but your actual eyesight is your mind. It's very important that you understand this. So your eyes, which is the physical one you see here, okay, it is something that you see through. But then your actual eyesight is your mind. So you see who you are. You don't see what there is. You see who you are. That is why it's easy for you to be manipulated by your cognitive biases. So you see who you are. I posted something very interesting on Instagram a few days ago, and I think YouTube as well. Okay, you will see who you are. So your eye, which is the number one, the visual portal, the gate of perception. So if let's say you are somebody that growing up, you only saw struggle, that is what has shaped your perception. Are you with me? And every single time you are seeing only massive profit without any context can also create false expectation. So it is the things you have seen now that has created your perception. That means what does this mean? What this simply means is this. That means there is a serious visual traps that damage your financial thermostats. Okay? It means that if you see lies and deceptions, you are in trouble. If you also see struggles all the time, you are in trouble. Both of them can shape a certain kind of perception for you that you would think it's not possible to make a certain kind of money. So an individual that has been shaped by several things you have seen that is giving you wrong perception about money, in order for me to change your perception, what do you think I need to do now? Tell me. I want you guys to turn yourself into an actual coach this evening so that you will learn how to grow. So if now I want to work on your perception, what do I do? Tell me now. If you were a coach and you want to basically change your perception, so you may have heard this before, your perception is not right, you have a bad perception, So now if I want to change your perception, if you want to change your perception, the way you perceive things, if you were putting up a program for me, what would that program be? Let's see in the comment section right now. What would the program be? No, before you even change your environment, before we go ahead of ourselves and change our environment, let's start from somewhere that will change you, the individual, a little bit. Not just restructure your mindset. The whole entire mentorship for this evening is about structuring your mindset. But what would you do? You start to see things from a positive mindset. Okay, but what would you do? Let's be practical a little bit so that you will get something to go home with. Start seeing the rightful thing. So practically, what system would you put in place to start changing your perception? Okay, remove negative thoughts. That is great. But what practical thing will you do? Tell me. So that you will know what to do when you wake up in the morning. Okay, change the type of information is great, but let's be a little bit practical. Let's be a little bit practical. Let's be a little bit practical. What would you do? Discipline. Meditation. Okay, guys, thank you so much for writing this down. Let me now show you something. Let me show you something. If you were a mentor, this is how you're supposed to think. I will start by believing I have all the things I wish for. Okay, guys, so listen to me carefully now. You see, this is what is making a lot of... So now you understand why people are struggling to be able to transform their mind. It becomes very difficult for the average individual to get the transformation they need because the information is not practical enough. Imagine if you write, you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is to have a series of images These images can be as stupidly you cropping your head and putting it on a successful individual who is standing in his company, in a ministry, anything, it doesn't matter. You crop your head, you crop that person's head, or you crop your head and you put it on that person's head. So that means that reality is what that person is having, is what you are now seeing that is yours. So the videos you watch on YouTube, is you watching things of people's success. You go to a website and you only watch testimonies of what God is doing for people. Visuals. Guys, let's not go far. You want to change your perception? It's visuals. The things you see on Instagram, the things you see on YouTube, the pictures on your phone. For example, if I could show you my phone right now, my screensaver is my declaration. There is a hope for a tree. Blah, 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 blah. That is my declaration. So the moment I open my phone that everybody is calling me, I see my declaration. Are you with me? So to change your perception is as simple as the things you see. That's it. It's not about listening. It's not about hearing. It's about seeing. That's it. So if you want to become the next CEO of an oil and gas company, look for a CEO that you know that made money in the right way. Look for some of the things around him. If it's pictures, videos, pick it up. Let that become your visualization. An honest person you can follow. If you have to print your face, if you want to even go to a studio one time and take a picture of your future self in a very beautiful suit, do that and put it on your screensaver. Put it on your laptop. Put it on your wall. Have you ever entered somebody's room before and that person tells you, I'm going to become a millionaire? And you go to this person's room and all the person have in his room is a picture of naked girls. Big image, naked bodies. And that person is telling you you're going to become a millionaire. The only industry maybe you're going to become a millionaire in is probably maybe the porn industry. But as far as real serious business is concerned, it doesn't reflect on you. No. So you print your things and you put it in your room. The future you. You take a picture of a future you in a suit. You put it on your wall. Then you put a series of things you can always see. Sticker notes and every single thing in your room. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is the future you, the CEO, the guy who is not a millionaire yet, but he could possibly become a millionaire. Visuals. So that means you now start changing the things you see on Instagram, the things you see on YouTube. If you're every day watching skit, chances are excellent you will become a skit maker one day, which can make you money, but that is a reality. Does that make sense? If you're a musician and all you do is only have footballers as friends, you're never going to become a good musician. If you are a trader and you don't have things to watch, does that make sense? So at the end of the day, it is very important that you understand that the reality of the industry that you are in, whether any industry, it doesn't matter. Your growth depends on what you see. It is called the visual portal. Now, so the first one is called the visual portal. Very important that you understand this. So number one is called the visual portal. Very important that you understand this. The visual portal. The visual portal. The visual portal. Number two is what we call the ES portal, is the auditory portal. So the auditory portal is the gate of influence. Guys, I really want you to listen to me and understand this carefully, because if you don't understand this information, it will really not let you get the concept of how to increase your financial thermostat. So the auditory portal is how you are influenced. Are you with me? So number one, the visual portal is the things you see that create your perception. So you need to focus on things that you use your eyes to look at that help your perception to be well transformed. Then we have the second mind portal, which is called the ears portal or the auditory. The auditory portal is the gate of influence. So how it affects financial thermostats is this. What you hear becomes your internal belief system. So when somebody says, hey, I don't know how to believe in myself, we need to check the things you are listening to. If your belief system is low, we need to check the things you listen to when you wake up, the things you listen to around you, your environment, the things people, say around you, your friends, and so on and so forth. It creates a belief system. So if you hear negative things about money consistently, your subconscious mind will reject wealth. It's as simple as that. So it's like money is evil, right? I heard that most of the time. Money is the chasing money is not a good thing. Is the root of evil. Or trading is gambling. If somebody is telling you trading is gambling all the time, chances are excellent you will end up believing trading is gambling, right? But trading is not gambling. Yes, you can gamble, but it's not gambling. Or maybe things like you need luck to succeed. So you would think if you are not getting results, it means you have bad luck. So the things you hear, they create a sense of influence in you that shape your belief system. Are you with me? So the things you hear. So number one is your eyes. So you wake up in the morning, the things you look at, the things you create around you to look at is called the visual portal, the gate of perception. Then we have the second one, which is called the auditory portal, the gate of influence. So as a human being, when you wake up, the things you see and the things you hear, they are creating something in your mind, right? So the amount of money you are making now, it is the amount of money you believe you can make. So if I tell you right now that how much you think you can make next 2 years, and you tell me $50,000, that is just worse. If it is true, your belief system will let it show in 2 years' time. It is true. So your eyes is the visual portal. It is the gate of perception. It's what creates the things and the way you perceive things. Your auditory, the things you hear, is what creates your belief system. So you need to filter negative financial conversations. For example, if you are in the room right now and all your friends, none of them are traders, the moment you mention trading, they are either laughing at you, they are either saying things and whatever or not. The moment you start hearing things like that, immediately the first thing that needs to come into your mind is that something is going to happen to you in the future if you don't fix that. So there is a saying that you are the 4 people you hang out with. It is true. The things you are hearing. So for example, I always used to tell people this, that back in the days, one of the things that I used to crack joke about is that people will say that, man, I'm broke. And somebody will also say, man, me too, I'm broke, right? And it's like, we are all broke. It's not true. All right. If you are broke and I'm broke and we are competing about who is the brokest one in the room, eventually everybody's life will look like they are broke. That doesn't make sense. So you need to be able to understand this, that your ears is what creates your belief system. So you need to be able to listen to positive financial education every single structured time you have in your schedule. Maybe 1 hour a day, maybe 2 hours a day. You are growing your mindset. You are listening to positive stuff. All right. Don't be around people too much that is always thinking that how is it possible to even achieve this? I love them, cherish them. But if you are going to let them influence you, by the things they say, eventually your mindset will never be able to be transformed. Very important. So number 1, the visual portal. Number 2, the auditory portal. And number 3, the third one is the gate of declaration. We call this the spoken portal. Please write this down. I hope you guys are learning. If you are learning, please drop some number ones in the chat. Let me see. Before we continue to the third one. So number 1 is the eyes. That means if you are somebody that you are seeing success to be simple to get, the people around you, the way they behave, you are seeing it. It's creating a perception for it to say, man, $10,000 is nothing. $2,000 is nothing. You are basically saying, not because you have it, but you have seen it multiple times, so you know it's a possibility for you to have one as well. So it creates a good perception. Number 2, the things you are hearing, the music you are listening to, the things you are hearing on Instagram and seeing it as well, the videos you are seeing on YouTube. Is it always sad things or people just telling about how hard life is and so on and so forth? I was basically just telling somebody one time, and I said, have you ever realized something very interesting in Dubai? That all my life I've been in different countries, and I can tell you for sure. In Africa, you will see a lot of you will see a lot of posters that sort of promote obituaries. And there is nothing wrong with that because people want to invite other people to their loved one burial. But the beautiful thing is this, is that the more you see obituary flyers, it makes you start to be afraid that what if tomorrow is me, right? That is what you'll be thinking. So you don't even push far. Yes, it is true that death happens to everyone, but then you don't even push far because all you are seeing all the time is gone too soon, gone too soon, gone too soon. I've been in Dubai for years and I've never ever seen any obituary flyer at the back of anybody's car or even on a wall. Now, these little things are the things you see. So when you keep on seeing these things, it brings limitations upon you immediately. So number one, the eyes. Number two, the ears. Number three is the spoken portal. You see, the mouth, the way it is here, listen to this carefully now. I wrote down something here, that what you say is what programs your subconscious mind. It's very interesting how the brain works. So the things you see create your perception. Your perception is the way you behave. It creates a sense of your attitude. Then the things you hear that is forming your belief system is the way you act. So the way you believe is the way you move. The way you believe is the way you do everything in terms of motion, action. But the things you say to yourself is what creates your subconscious mind. The reason why the number third one is very interesting is because your financial thermostat is being operated by your subconscious mind. That means the majority of the settings comes from the things you say, that your brain hears it. So if you go like, man, I don't know if I can do this forex thing, that is how your brain will receive it. Man, I don't even know that if I can ever become rich, that is how your brain will receive it. Are you with me? So your brain is basically reprogrammed in terms of your subconscious mind by the things you declare. So the third portal is called the gate of declaration, the mouth. So as a trader, when you hear me saying, as a trader, your subconscious mind is the most powerful asset, and I dare you. I didn't just create that video for no reason. And by the grace of God, I was seeing that video today, and that video has 1.5 million views with so many different engagement. That means when you wake up in the morning, I am a disciplined trader. You are reprogramming your mind to stop believing that you're not disciplined. Because if you start to become disciplined in here, it starts to show in your life. Are you guys with me? All right. Let me pause here for a second and let me make sure that you guys are learning. If you are learning, drop some number ones in the chat, let me know. Are you guys learning? So the third one is called the spoken portal. Let's add it here. The spoken portal. So we have the first one, which is the visual portal. The second one is the auditory portal. And the third one is the spoken portal. So every single person here, you have been shaped. Your perception has been shaped by the things you saw. The things you are hearing is creating your belief system. And the way you speak is reprogramming your subconscious mind. Very important that you understand this. Okay? All right, perfect. All right then. So number one, now that we know that the things you see and you hear is important, what about the things you say? If you constantly say, I am broke, guess what happens? If you say that oh man, I don't know why I'm always losing money, you're going to lose money. If you go like, man, trading is hard, trading will be hard. It is very important to understand this. So the reality in this situation changes everything, the things you say to yourself. So your mind take these statements very seriously. And the reason why your mind takes this information very seriously is because of something. When it comes to the spoken portal, the password is this. The password of that portal is the word I am. Every single time that you say I am, every single time you say I am, it connects you to your subconscious mind to believe you. So I am broke. I am poor. I am a loser. Your subconscious mind really hears that I am very well. You see, these things are things that are based on pure research. You can do your research about it and so on and so forth so that you can grow as well as an individual. But then the word I am is something your brain really understands very well. So I am broke. I am poor. I am is something. I am rich. I am. Your brain starts to now basically say, okay, that is who you are. That is who. And the moment it clicks, it starts to align your actions towards that. So the spoken portal, very important. So the solution here is that you have to speak growth-oriented financial affirmations daily. So for example, I am a disciplined trader who manages risk and grows my wealth every day. You can have it in this line of this assets, but every day you're doing that. So the first one, again, I keep on going back and forth because I want you to really grow. The visual, second, the portal, third, the spoken portal. The fourth one is the portal of imagination. We call that the thought portal, the gate of imagination. Or in other words, the meditation portal. The meditation portal. The meditation portal. So the meditation portal is quite very simple. What you think of repeatedly becomes your reality. So your life is a reflection of your dominating thoughts. So let's say, for example, I can come here right now and I will tell you, hey, I want you to believe that you are a successful trader. If you go like, I am a successful trader, yes, that moment you are declaring and it's good. But if you do it just now and you don't do it later, you just declared and it's not going to sink in. So when you are now sitting down, you are imagining, man, I am a disciplined trader. You start to imagine yourself doing disciplined stuff. Let me give you an example. You see, these things that I'm telling you guys about here, it's not something difficult. It's difficult now because it's not your lifestyle. Let's say, for example, you are addicted to anything in this world, whether food or anything. Is there anything in this world that you are addicted to? That there are days, even when you don't have that thing, it drops in your mind and you start to visualize it. It's like you start to think about it. It's like, man, it's like it starts coming into your mind. Why is it like that? Because they have become your dominating thoughts. So the average person you are now is everything opposite to who a trader is. So the things you think about, it's possible you think about football more than trading. It's possible you think about food more than trading. It's possible you think about something more than something. That is your dominating thoughts. Are you with me? So the thoughts is the fourth one. It's called the meditation portal, the gate of imagination. So if you constantly think of, maybe let's say, I don't deserve wealth. Let me even ask something right now. How many of you guys right now what are some of the things that even if you don't think about it too much, it starts to come into your mind? Tell me in the comment section. Don't be shy. Let's say when you are there randomly, what are the things that dropped in your mind randomly? And again, when you put it in the comment section, I want you to write it down in your book because these things are practical things. This part 2 of the financial thermostat is more practical than the part 1. The part 1 was just introducing you for you to understand the idea of financial thermostat. Today is more practical. Okay. So number 1, the things you see. Number 2, the things you hear. Number 3, the things you say. And number 4, the things you think about. Okay, the gate of imagination, your thoughts. What are some of the things that you think about constantly that just drops in your mind easily, just like that? Okay, if you think about problems easily, that is your dominating thought. That means your life will be a representation of issues of life. That means you attract issues of life easily. The Bible says, out of the heart of a man flows the issues of life. So when the thing becomes your conviction, you attract it easily. So even if you don't want trouble, trouble finds you, because that is what you meditate on daily. Problems, hardships. Does that make sense? So your thought is a very serious portal as well. Now, the last portal, I said I was going to give you guys 5, is called the gate of deep belief. Now, the gate of deep belief is in your heart. Your heart is the emotional portal. Your emotional portal. Let me write that down. The emotional portal, or the deep belief, the gate of deep belief, but the emotional portal. The emotional portal. This is the belief system here that is super deep, because it is out of this heart, this emotional part of you, that flows the issues of life. So your deepest financial beliefs, that means you can tell me right now that, Cliff, I believe I can make 50K. It might not be true. That part of you that said that is the conscious part of you now. But the actual part of you that is the real part of you may believe you can only make $5. Does that make sense? So if you fear wealth or success, you will subconsciously push money away. Subconsciously. Subconsciously means, you remember the internet service we spoke about? That is how your subconscious mind is. It's something you do without even realizing it. So that means you will push money away without you even realizing it. Does that make sense? It is very important that you understand this. Okay. Yes. So number one of the things that you need to understand is this, is that the thought of imagination. Does that make sense? It is very, very, very important to understand that. So we were writing things down now, and I want you guys to understand. So number one, the practical way is for you to understand that you have the eyes, you have the ears, you have the mouth, you have your thoughts, and you have your heart. Now, if you guys have understood everything I was saying, I am about to teach you now as a trader. I'm about to teach you now as a trader. I want you to now drop some number ones in the chat. You see how long it took us to just get all these notes down about that. So it takes time to grow. I could have rushed and, give information, boom, 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 and you wouldn't grow like that. So you needed to write these things down. Then I will now bring it into understanding for you to be transformed. It takes time, guys. It takes time to learn. It really takes time. Oh, wait. So now listen to this carefully now. As a trader, you started 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Okay? Probably you are making money. You see some wins, you see some losses, it goes away, it comes back. Whatever one know. When I started trading in 2012, guys, my mindset wasn't right. I was always thinking, the most useless things. I didn't believe in mental transformation. There are so many different things I didn't believe in. My mindset wasn't right. I was not grateful. I didn't understand laws and principles. I didn't understand that. And so one day I realized something when I came across the information of a book I read. The title of the book is called The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And it made me really understand this concept. And that is why I'm sharing this with you guys today. That whether you were a trader or not, it doesn't matter. This principle still remains the same. It is true. Financial thermostat is not about whether you were a trader, you were a businessman. It is a law. If you put a footballer, a doctor, a nurse, an engineer on a balcony and they jump, they will all go down. If you put somebody who has never gone to school before and you tell the person, don't jump from this story building because you will go down, and the person believes you, they will be alive. Did you hear what I just said? If you have a nurse, an engineer, a doctor, every single person on the balcony, and one ignorant individual, but this ignorant individual listened to the story of don't jump from this story building, that person will stay alive, and all the people who went to school will go down because they broke a law called the law of gravity. Same thing in trading. You can have the skill sets, but it doesn't change the laws of the cosmos. Your mindset needs to still be transformed in order for you to attract money. How many of you guys, listen to this carefully now. Let me just tell you something right now. Listen. How many of you guys that started trading one day will go to a Telegram channel, and this Telegram channel mentor is very good. One trade, win, but you didn't take this trade. You didn't take that trade. So you didn't, the trade won, but you didn't take that trade. So you say, man, I'm going to look for money and I will put the money in the broker and I will make money. Second trade, for that day, loss. One trade, loss. But during that day, the mentor sent 2 trades. It was a win, but you were cooking. So you didn't take that trade because you were cooking. Third trade, won, but you only took 30 pips. Like the group, it hit TP1 and reverse to stop loss. But then you wanted to take TP3, so you lost the trade, but the mentor and the people who took some profit made money. Listen to this carefully now. First trade was a win. That trade was a trade that you said, okay, I want to see if this Forex thing works. So you didn't take that win. Second trade was a loss. That one, you took money that day, but then you didn't make no money. That day, the mentor sent 2 trades. But for some weird reason, you were cooking, or you were sleeping, or you were playing, or you were working. Third day, he sent a trade. It only hit TP1, and then it reversed to stop loss, but you lost money because you didn't take no profit. Fourth trade, you was so angry, so you over leveraged so that you can make more money to recover your losses, and then it hit stop loss. So you lost big. Your money is about to be finished. So you came on a live session like this, and Cliff spoke about discipline. So you said, oh, okay, I'm going to be disciplined. And that day, you used 0.01. And the trade hits all targets. 100 pips. But you made $10. If this looks like a story you have gone through before I explain something to you, drop some number ones in the chat. Drop some number ones. If this looks like something that has happened to you, drop some number ones in the chat. Listen, guys. Listen. It is very important that you understand this. There is a reason why only you seems to be attracting the trades that hasn't go there. You can blame the educator, you can blame the market, you can blame the signal provision, you can blame anything you want. You still didn't make money. You can be angry, you can delete the mentor's number, you can do anything you want to do. You still didn't make money. Does that make sense? You can do anything you want to do, but you still didn't make money. Now, this is where a lot of people fail to understand. There are a series of mentors that they have asked me, Cliff, for some weird reason. When I showed my profits to somebody, I started losing. When I invited people into my mentorship program in my small group, I've been hitting stop losses. Listen, because you need to understand that it is the mindset that attracts things. If in your mentor group, you have 4 people who don't believe in that group, henceforth, you will start attracting bad results. You don't need to believe this for it to be true. I don't care about your sentiment. It's a law. It's a law, ladies and gentlemen. So that means if your financial thermostat is $10, you can buy a prop firm account and you can try to make money. It wouldn't work because life will design series of events to take that money away from you. So if you win a lottery of $1 million, you will lose the $1 million for it to come down to $10 because that is your financial thermostat. What formed this thermostat? Your belief system. Your belief system based on the things you have seen, you have heard, you have been telling yourself, you have been saying to yourself, and your thoughts that is in your heart. This is not an opinion. Guys, I rushed to buy my first car. When I used to live in Ukraine, I had 3 cars that I got my hands on. A Jaguar, which was my first car. When I bought this first car, guys, I had problems upon problems upon problems, using every penny of mine to fix this car. Yes, the car was bad, but what made me buy the car in the first place? Mindset. I didn't even know what it will cost me for me to fix that car. Second car, Peugeot, problems. I bought that car in a bad way to the point where we sold that car for $300 because the gearbox broke down, and the only way to let the car go was to just sell the car. Then before I bought my third car, which was BMW 3 Series, I'll never forget. I bought that car with cash, and the time I was buying that car, my mindset was on point. That car had 0 problems. 0 problems. But something interesting happened. I wanted to make a certain amount of money. In fact, I was attracting a certain kind of money by my desires. The week that I was able to make that week, my car scratched someone's car, and the problem led to me supposed to spend a certain amount of money. Guys, I didn't listen. That same limit made me contacted a serious illness that made me lose over 15 kg. 15 kg of body weight. That was how sick I was. The minute my money started, depleting, for some weird reason, I started becoming well. See, when I say these things right now, people will say, "Oh man, this guy is saying nonsense." No problem, no problem. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you will look back and say, "I wish when I came onto this financial thermostat live session on TP Masterclass, I would have listened." Your income will never grow beyond your mindset. Never. The things you believe, the things you say. If you are still saying things like, "Oh man, this restaurant is not for people like us. This hotel is not for people like us," you are joking. It will never be for people like you. Are you with me? Change the way you speak. Change the way you talk. Change the things you look at. Change the things you hear.
these things as a trader, it is not just for those who wants to do business. It's not just for those who wants to do whatever. There is a saying, Warren Buffett said that, a day he read over how many books, so many different pages of one book. And then the trader will say things like, man, do I have to read this book to be a trader? You are joking. You are joking. It doesn't work like that. You cannot bypass a law. You might have heard me say this before. If you want to have a kid in 1 month, you cannot impregnate 9 women. It doesn't work like that. The law, the law of time and season says children come out of a woman in 9 months. So even if you are a man and you are the power jack man and you impregnate 9 women, they will all give birth in 9 months. It's a law. It doesn't change that fact. So even if you are a good forex trader by data analyst, as an analyst, you are a good analyst, it doesn't change the fact that you will not make $100,000 because your mindset may be $100. And the minute you try to make more than that, life will design a series of effects to fight it. This was something that took me a long time to become not just a profitable trader, but to become a trader who can live on trading. You see, I really hope that you guys are understanding this. I really hope that you are understanding this. I really wish, listen, from the bottom of my heart here, listen to this carefully now. When I started talking about this in the beginning, everybody thought I was nuts. Because their favorite so-called guru is showing the car. Okay? Their favorite so-called guru is showing the plane he stayed in. And so when that person look at that, somebody was telling me that, Cliff, what if you want to be able, what did the person say? How can I be able to be a consistent trader? And I said, what does it mean to be a consistent trader? I did some research and I'm going to show you guys something. Listen to this carefully now. So I did my research, listen to this, and I was asking myself while we're about to do the program for the 90-day challenge, I was asking myself, why is it that a lot of people find it difficult to withdraw? And why is it that even me, I found it difficult to withdraw in the beginning? Guys, you know what I realized? I realized a lot of people don't make withdrawals. And it was a very serious psychological problem. A lot of people don't make withdrawals because psychologically their brain hates to see things end. Their brain hates to see things end. You see, when you are making money and you are getting profits and all of that and so on and so forth, at some point, you love to see the profit, right? The blues and everything and so on and so forth. But your brain hates that. When you are going to stop trading and you're going to start withdrawing. Guys, and can I ask you something? How do you withdraw money from the market? Tell me. I want an intelligent, honest answer. How do you withdraw money from the financial market? Tell me. How do you withdraw money from the financial market? Just tell me your most wildest answer in your head. If somebody comes to you and tell you, hey, how do I withdraw money from the financial market? What would you say? Okay, trading the profits. Okay. How do you withdraw? How would you withdraw money from trading? Sell. Okay. Let me tell you guys something right now. You just click withdraw. Thank you so much, Junior Luis. You just click withdrawal. It is not difficult to withdraw money from your account. The reason why you are not withdrawing is two things. Either you have no profit or you don't like your profits. Hit that withdraw button. Transfer the funds to your wallet, to your bank account. If so, BS problema. If so, it's not a problem, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to make withdrawal, you make withdrawal from your broker. People sometimes say, I want to keep the money in the broker, the money I've made. Any money in your broker account is not your money. So even including your profit. Listen to what I just said. No money in your broker is your money. The moment you deposit money into your broker is no more yours. The only money that belongs to you is the one that came out. The only money that belongs to you is the one that came out. Listen to this carefully now. Now, people, so if you have $100, you have made 10%, right? It is a lot of money. And I know some brokers don't allow $10 withdrawal or $5. I get it. But it doesn't change the fact that 10% is still good money. That is why you may have heard me say this before, that the financial market is not a place we go to make money. It's a place we go to multiply money. A lot of people don't like me saying this. But the financial market is not a place we go to make money. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's a place we go to multiply money. So you cannot multiply what you don't have. So if all you have is $100 in your whole life, you cannot trade well because you're going to be emotional. Again, don't let me get ahead of myself. Financial Thermostat, the mind portal. So right now you came onto this live session. So Cliff, are you saying when I wake up in the morning, I should get a series of things to look at that will shape my mindset? Yes. For a start, write down. Write down the way you see yourself in 2025 and create images around that. There are so many AIs now. You can go to the internet and write your script and use AI to generate the future images that you want to see of you. And look at it every day. Number 2, get audios, audiobook, the things you watch on YouTube, and listen to things that transform your mind. Number 3. Okay, so the first one is the eye portal. Number 2, the auditory. Is that true? Number 2, the auditory. Number 3, the spoken portal. So the things you say to yourself. Cliff, how do you do yours? I wake up in the morning when I'm going to brush my teeth. I look into the mirror. I'm great. My name is Cliff Cheqona, and I'm happy and grateful now that I'm a multi-millionaire. Blah, 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 blah. The 4th one is the meditation portal. The things you think of daily as a trader. 5th one, the emotional portal. Practical things. Practical things. Your heart. Right now, if the things I am saying you don't believe, there is nothing I can do about that for you. But you need to switch this up. So every single time you are coming on this masterclass daily, as long as you allow yourself to grow, as soon as you allow yourself to listen, eventually you will grow. Guys, listen, back in the days, believe me, I didn't used to believe in these things. I didn't. I was like, all these mindset. I remember, I'll not forget, I said that we were fasting. And then the individual said, why do you guys have to bring fasting into trading? You see the mindset. The person doesn't even understand that fasting is part of a law. That means you are bringing your body and distractions under subjection so that you can be able to control your tendencies. It's not just a religious activity, it's a law. And there are different types of fasting. Anyways, so number 1, the financial thermostat. Number 1, we looked at the foundation and the meaning of financial thermostat. Number 2 of today's masterclass, we have looked at the portal that the financial thermostat can come from and can go into, the gateways. Next week, God willing, we will not talk about financial thermostat part 3, but what we're going to be talking about is going to be about how to be able to reach a state of belief. A state of belief. You're going to reach there. And that state of belief, I love this topic so much. It's titled, what we're going to be learning is a series of emotional intelligence. Next week, we are going to start a series titled Emotional Intelligence. Emotional Intelligence. I'm going to work with my team and see how we can post some couple of few practical things you can do. Maybe a TP declaration card with some declarations on it, so that you guys can declare some things as a trader. If you like this, drop some ones in the chat. But from next week, God willing, we're going to be looking at emotional intelligence as a series. What is an emotional intelligence? How do you know you are emotionally intelligent? How do you become emotionally intelligent as a trader and also even in your life as well? Guys, listen, all these masterclasses from the episode 1 to where we are now in episode 7, there are many things in there. If you listen, I know you will grow. With that all being said, if you have been blessed today, drop some number ones in the chat. If you have been blessed today, drop some number ones in the chat. If you have been blessed today, drop some number ones in the chat so that you will understand that you are learning. Let me go into the comment section a little bit. Quick question. Let me see the question. If you have, can you bring the question up on the screen for me, please? Let me try to answer this and let's go. It says if you have capital of 150 and you take a 20 loss, now it's left with 130, right? Correct. My next trade, I make $10 profit and it's already the end of the week. Can I withdraw the 10? Yes, you can withdraw the 10. Now, this is where I want you guys to understand something. This is the conflict of interest in people's mind, is that the more money you have in your account, the more money you can make. That is the mindset, right? Remember when I showed you guys something, and maybe somebody missed this, and I said something. I said that until you understand how to diversify is a risk management strategy. Until you learn how to diversify your business, nothing will ever look like fulfillment for you. So right now, that $150 in your account, what is that goal? Let me ask you a question right now. Let me talk to Julius for a second. That $150 in your account, what is the goal? Talk to me, Lewis. Sorry, Lewis. What is your goal for that? That $150 you have, what is the goal? What goal? Why did you deposit? And I want this to be for everybody who has the same exact question. So pay attention now. That $150, what is the goal? Why did you put $150 in there? Is it that is all that you have, or you want to see that trading works? Why did you put it? What is the $150 for? Is it to buy a house? Is it to buy a car? My goal is to help pay off expenses, sir. Thank you. We are doing some practical things right now. So the $150 is for expenses. Please give me the expenses. What are you trying to pay off? What kind of expenses are you trying to pay off? Tell me. What type of expenses are you trying to pay off? What type of expenses? Be specific. Because remember, guys, listen. When you are setting any goal, you need to make sure your goal is in this structure form. It's called the SMART structure of setting goal. The S is specific. The S is what we call specific. The M is called measurable, the ability for you to measure. Achievable, that means it has to be realistic. Relevant, it means it has to mean something. Then time bound, you need to connect it to time. Light utility, thank you so much. If it's food, thank you. So my next question now that I will ask you is, can the $10 buy your food? Can the $10 buy the bread? I don't know if you're buying for your family or just yourself. Can the $10 take you the transportation? This is what, so there is an answer here. Gideon, I'm going to tell you something right now and I will blow your mind. What Gideon just said has a part of the truth, but it's not the whole truth. You don't need to make $160 in order for you to say a profitable business. Let me show you something right now and blow you guys your mind. Imagine if you have $150. Listen to this carefully now. and then you lost $20. And that $20 you lost is now left with $130, correct? But then this week that ended, you only made $10. So now you have $140. So you made $140. So you took the $10 out, and now you have $130. Now you are using the $10 to grow the $10 to buy your food. Now you have $130. Sunday, you sit down accordingly to adjust your risk based on the amount of money left in your business. Let's say that week you were able to make $30 by proper risk. So now you have 160. You have 160 now. Psychologically, people think this is not a win. They think because they lost 20 and made 40 and reduced 10 means that at the end of the day, they are not trading well. They forget that next week you can make 30 and it will put you ahead $10 extra of your initial deposit. And if, let's say, that week you withdraw 10, you are back again to break even. But remember, you are solving your food issue because you have to eat. But some people don't eat, they don't do anything, and what happens is they now go into anger, irritation, because you are hungry. Now, the following week, let's say you were able to make the exact same 30. Now you have 180. You withdrew $10 again. Now it's left with 170 for the next week. Let's say the following week you broke even and you're back to 150. Right? But then you are supposed to take $10 again to eat. Now remember, you are eating every day and business is going on. You are not worried, you are not angry that your forex is not working because you know trading is a business. Just like the real estate company, just like the coffee shop. There are days people will come, there are days people will not come. But doesn't mean you don't eat. You eat. You eat. So same thing in trading. You don't need to go back into profit to see that you're a profitable trader. It's a structured body of where you apply to your profitability measures that changes everything for you. Are you guys with me? Guys, I used to have the same problem. Oh man, until I come back into profit, I'll never withdraw. And you blow all the money. And your brain will tell you, you see, you should have used that to go and eat suya. All right? My Nigerian people. It would have been better to use $100 to eat suya than to blow it all. Because your brain will start telling you the things that you wish you'd have done. Oh man, why didn't I even just take $10 to buy this? And next week I would have probably made more. It is true. So don't let your brain let you believe if you come back to 140 because you deposited 150, your business is bad. It's not true. Next week you can make $100. Next week you can make 40. But keep on making sure the goal is always there. The only time that you need to make sure your business is going bad is when you are losing a huge amount of percentage from your capital. Now that is a problem. That one you have to re-strategize. That one you have to re-strategize. It is very important that you understand this. And let me go into this comment section. I think I've taken long today. Are you guys with me? It is very important. It is very important that you keep on growing as a trader. Guys, the reason why you are where you are are things you believe. That is making you think you're not a profitable trader. That is why it's making you think you're not a profitable trader. It's not true. See, this thing really pains me a lot, you know, that I see people who have great skills and something is limiting them. They are not growing. They are angry every day. They are blaming the market because of a belief system. Forex is not that complicated, yes, but it can be difficult to the level of your mindset. Guys, listen, I've been on this live session almost 2 hours, and I think right now I'm getting tired. If you have learned anything today that is going to help you in your light bulb moment in your trading today, guys, listen, let trading solve the milk problem. Let trading solve that bread problem. Let trading solve that, what do we call it again? The water problem first. Before you start thinking about buying a car, buying a house, don't let that fancy so-called whatever on the internet fool you. Trading can be hard. It can be difficult, but we believe it's possible because somebody has been able to do it. So there is a saying that they follow those who, through paraphrasing now, troubles, struggles, have achieved certain things. Then you learn from it. But then don't limit your mindset because you think it's either this or not. There is a system to how this industry works. It is true. Yes, guys, portfolio, the psychology of portfolio management and all of that is part of the mentorship. Don't worry, we are going to get there. This is basically just step by step. Remember, we are not trying to rush. We are trying to learn systematically. Remember, we started this year by building structures. Now we have learned about financial thermostat. Now you are ready to attract money. You are ready to attract money. Thank you so much, Gideon. Thank you for, you see, this is why I love TP family. You guys are humble people. When you teach them something and it makes sense, they get it. And when they get it, they admit. They admit. This is the kind of attitude that if you have, you will always keep on growing. Guys, listen, we don't know everything. So sometimes the things we learn, we learn. The things we don't know, we keep quiet. When Kema is teaching, I'm learning. Everybody is learning. So I promise you, when you change your mindset, your perception, everything changes. With that all being said, drop some number ones in the chat if today's masterclass blessed you a lot. Let me know 2 hours in a row. And I think that we need to clap for all those who stay on the live session. Congratulations. You have done well. You have given your destiny in trading time to learn, to grow. Drop fire emojis. Drop number ones in the chat. If you stay, clap for yourself. Congrats. In fact, let's clap for ourselves wherever you are. Clap it physically. Let this feel physically, okay? Don't just basically put in a chat. Clap for yourself because you stayed to the end to listen to this individual here. Congratulations. God bless you for staying. God bless you for staying. Okay? Okay. All right, TP family. I promise you next week, emotional intelligence. All the questions you ask yourself, Cliff, why can't I control my emotions? All the answers are coming. You will never, ever, ever be the same way again. You will never be the same way again after the emotional intelligence segment. Okay? God bless you all. And thank you so much. And have an amazing day. Goodbye, guys. And then take care.
Trading is a mind game.